Why are you so sweaty? I was watching Cops.
Yeah, we're back. We're fucking back. I took a week off. I didn't mean to, but I was drunk. Sue me. I'm not gonna apologize. Pay me so that you can make this my day job. I'd appreciate that. I know my listeners. Sorry I let you down. Got a lot of shit for it over the past week or so. I just went to the gas station real quick. Just had to go get some milk. You know, maybe some almond butter lotion. You know. But we're back, and it's been a crazy week. Kind of couple weeks, just in general. You know, this isn't a political podcast, but I feel like it'd be bad if I didn't address the elephant in the room. I'm planning on putting in my nomination to run for president in 2028. So stay on the lookout for that. What else happened? Oh, Charlie Kirk got shot. That was crazy. You know, oh God, how do I say this? I feel bad for his daughter. I feel bad for the family. That's obviously awful. But you know what? Like, I gotta sneeze. Hold on. I feel it coming. If I die and you don't like me, like if you don't like me and then I suddenly die, don't act like you like me. So, for example, I didn't like Charlie Kirk. So I'm not going to act like I like him now that he's dead. However, if you're celebrating it, or on the other end, you're acting like he's Martin Luther King, both figure it the fuck out, dude. It's very sad what we've gotten to as a country. But thankfully, we have ball to get us out of this. And I'm sure he's looking up at us right now, excited for this slate of ball that we got coming up. But I think it's important to talk about what's going forward and the ball we got going, because, man, it's exciting. But we need to check back a little bit, too. And I guess I should address this. Yeah, personal update. I got a promotion at my actual job that I get paid for. So that's cool. I told Big Homie to cut the fucking check, which is sick. You guys should see my fucking W-2. I don't even think I get a W-2 anymore. I don't fucking know. Boy's rolling. But anyways, you're here for ball. Let's get the ball. I'm not going to go way into it. A couple weeks ago, I went 6-3. No big deal. Just noticed some things across the landscape. I'll start with my team, Michigan State. We fucking suck. We're ass. There's teams that care about winning, there's teams that don't care about winning, and then there's Michigan State. This team sucks, and I'm going to get to them later. Michigan, you also suck, and we knew that. Like, we knew you sucked. Oh, you beat up on Central. Fucking congrats. Point Mount Pleasant out on a map, please. Another week at Kansas State, just being worse than watching paint dry. Fucking Florida, you suck. Get to you later. Clemson, hey Dabo, figure it the fuck out. You just lost to the Honeycombs, and they even have the honeycomb helmets on. They're done. Notre Dame, fucking, you had two teams on your schedule I cared about. Lost to both of them. Thank God Marcus is on the sidelines, because that's the only redeeming quality of watching them play, is seeing his sexy ass. I mean, who's good, though? I mean, Georgia's good again. Give me a fucking break. I'm tired of that shit. Oregon looks good again. Not just talking about their uniforms, which are always good. They'll probably lose a big game that they need to win, though. Guaranteed. Who else? Georgia Tech, I guess. I mean, not much has changed. Like, I feel like we got a little... We knew what we knew going into week 3. And everything since that point has kind of just confirmed our preconceived notions of the remainder of this year. And so we'll see how it plays out. Doesn't mean the bad teams can't win games. Doesn't mean the good teams are going to win every game. That's not going to happen. And you'll see that this week. But, like I said, a couple weeks ago, I went 6-3. Week before that, I went 2-6. There's going to be ups and downs. I'm 11 for 21 on the year. 53%. Not where I want to be. But we're going to get there. It started 2 weeks ago, and we're going to keep it rolling this week. We're just going to get right fucking into it. We got a lot of good games. I know next week, we're looking ahead to next week, which is just going to be orgasmic. I'll get into that. But starting off this week, we've got Texas Tech at Utah. And crazy Utah is in the Big 12. Crazy Utah has an offense I care about. And Texas Tech just has so many good players. So many good players through the portal. Probably the best roster money can buy. And I think we're used to a Utah tough defensive team. Offensively, they're a juggernaut. And Texas Tech, they're going to be able to be high scoring. They're going to be guns up or whatever the fuck they do. And I don't think 56.5 is enough. And we're starting off today. We want points. It's too young to pick the under. Now, obviously, this isn't a betting podcast. I don't make recommendations here. But just looking at the number, I feel like that's not high enough. I think this goes into the 60s. Also, West Coast, we got Oregon State heading to Oregon for the Platypus Trophy. Sick-ass trophy. Platypus, what's the plural? Platypus is? I don't know. They're fucking sick, and I think they're awesome. And usually this game is close, I think. Like, Oregon State will pop one off, but Oregon State looks absolutely dreadful. They look like a team that lost everybody, which they did. And Oregon is rolling. You know Lanny's going to be giving some pregame speech about how, I don't know, beavers get shot and, ducks are pretty, or I don't fucking know. I don't like that he has the marker, like his Sharpie, clipped and tucked on the inside of his shirt. It's weird. I don't like how I look at his shirt and he's got like 4 clips hanging out. I don't like it. But his pregame speeches, they get me slightly erect. And I think that this team is going to be rock hard going into this game. And with 34.5, Oregon loves to put up big numbers in spots like this. We took them earlier in the year. I think they're going to do it again. Heading to the SEC, we got Auburn going to Oklahoma. And they're playing for a trophy. I couldn't tell you what it is. I think they're playing for a trophy. When I look at this game, it screams Oklahoma because I don't like Auburn. I think Oklahoma's front seven is good. I think Mateer is obviously a Heisman candidate. But something about this game, and the number's at 7. And I watched Michigan go to Oklahoma. And I don't think Michigan played great. I think Oklahoma played an okay game. But in another big game, I just think it'll be close. I think Auburn can keep it at a field goal or within. And I think we're going to roll with War Eagle here within a field goal. Or not field goal, touchdown, same thing. I think it's going to be within a field goal. I think it's going to be close. And I know that's a hot choice. But I like the Eagles here. Or whatever the fuck. Why is their thing War Eagle, but they're the Tigers? How the fuck does that make sense? But there's too many Tigers. Anyways. This game's going to be boring as shit. And it's a big helmet matchup. And people are excited. What would have been in 97. We got Michigan heading out to Nebraska. And they're both historic, like I said. Like Michigan, Nebraska had somewhat of a dynasty post-Korean War, so that's cool. I think they might try to give us a pulse this game. The spread's 1.5. I'm not touching that. And I think everybody's looking under here. Obviously, Michigan's going to have a stout defense. Nebraska has a team. Who knows if Jackson Mahomes is going to get in the end zone? I think that's kind of the thought process with everybody. But I think Bryce Underwood might get let loose a little bit. I think he's shown that he has arm talent. He can scramble. And on the other side for Michigan, they're very aggressive, which has opened them up to penalties and extending drives for the other team. I think some drives that should be a field goal turn into touchdowns. Some drives that should get stopped before the 50 end up into field goals for Nebraska. And so with it being 47.5, I know they're thinking that it's going to be a 24, 23-ish ball game. I see both teams getting to at least 24. So with that being said, I think over 47.5 I think is a play, and I think we're against probably what most people would think, which gets me excited. Man, I was high on Florida going into the year, but Lagway looked lost at LSU. Now, this LSU defense is insane, and they're probably going to carry them all the way through because the offense isn't very productive. But now you go to Miami, and they've got an insane front four that's dominated. My problem with that, and on the contrary, is that we saw this last year where it got to a point in the season where Billy Napier, it was either, hey, you win or you get out. And I think he's going to do the same thing here. The spread's 9.5. I think it's going to be an emotional game. I think it'll be a close game. I think Florida will be able to take away the run of Miami, which is crucial to Carson Beck's success. And once again, it's Napier coaching for his life. And I think keeping this game close, I think they might win it. We'll keep them on the seat. The seat's going to be hot as fuck. I mean, this shit's boiling. But he'll still be there. And I don't think that they'll win a lot of the games going forward. The rest of their schedule is brutal. But I think this will be a game that will at least keep him alive and not what just happened at Virginia Tech. 2 weeks ago, we took Mississippi State against Arizona State at home. We were all MSU that night. MSU Junior, fuck Michigan. All three went great. I don't believe in Arizona State. They're not good. They're not explosive. They don't excite me. Their uniforms are good. Dillingham's fun. Student section sororities. I'm not going to get into that again. Thankfully for them, I don't think Baylor is that good. The total's at 60.5, and that seems high, and we're going to go higher. We expected this year and in the past that Dave Aranda's defense was going to be what kept Baylor in games. Their defense is atrocious. They hate getting off. I would say they hate getting off the field. They want to get off the field. They'll just let everybody fucking score. And so I think Arizona State, do I think they're phenomenal? No. But I think they'll be able to get in the end zone. And of course, once again, I don't trust their defense. And so 60.5, we want points. Life short. This next game is tough for me because I'm an honorary Coug. Shout out Pullman. We all know that. But Washington State might lose to my high school team my senior year. They're fucking awful. They were down like 100 against North Texas at home. Who the fuck does that? That's just embarrassing. Now, maybe as a look-ahead spot, you know you're going to play, the Huskies the next week. I don't think it really matters. A look-ahead spot is a closer game. A look-ahead spot is losing by a touchdown. Losing by 7 touchdowns? I mean, Jesus Christ. Like, might as well just be on the wrong end of a glory hole. Like, that's awful. So now they play Washington, who's motivated after they lost last year. And 19.5, I don't think it's enough. Wazoo is awful. Sorry, Cougs. I mean, that's just. I feel bad, but I think it is what it is. We're not going off emotions here. But for this next game, we are, because I fucking hate Colorado. Coach Prime has been an abject failure at Colorado. He's been ass. He rode on the coattails of his son and the number 1 overall recruit coming out of high school, Travis Hunter. They can't develop players. His game management's awful. His gold headset's overplayed. They're a joke. They're a fucking joke. Now, they welcome in our Pokes from Laramie. I love Wyoming. I love their helmets. Would love to go to a game there. And honestly, 13.5, I don't think Colorado's good enough to beat anybody by 2 touchdowns. Outside of whoever the fuck FCS teams they probably want to schedule. So we're going Cowboys here. Top 5 helmet. My God, I'm rolling through this, aren't I? Last one of the week. It's a late game. 8 o'clock local time here. Michigan State travels to USC for the Trojan War. These teams should play every year for a wooden horse, and that would be fucking sick. How sick would that be? That would be one of the best, trophies. All the trophies are like some old thing that happened in like the early 1700s when one of the coach's daughters was fucking a player on the other team, and then like he left or she left her a pair of underwear over there, and then they made like a sculpture of it or whatever, and then now that gets passed around. This would be sick. But I mean, speaking of undies though, Helen of Troy, she had to be bad though. But like, how bad are we talking? Like a war? Like, who would we fight a war over today? Like if, I don't know, if Venezuela captured Sydney Sweeney, we're not invading. Anne Hathaway, I would enlist, but we're not invading. Just think about that. I mean, that's crazy. Anyways, I don't like USC this year. Y'all know that. You also know I really don't like my own team. The spread jumped to 18.5. Why are you 18.5 point underdogs to anybody? Anybody. They didn't address the D-line in the offseason like we wanted. The O-line isn't what we expected. Our best receiver might be out. Who knows? But we brought in other receivers, so that shouldn't matter that much. Our DC looks like a deer in fucking headlights. We look like a bad football team. And I had to listen to one of my teammates, shout out Roots, tell me that beating Youngstown State by how much we did wasn't a bad victory. And there could be bad victories. Like, you can win and be happy but not feel good about how you won. We look like shit. That was awful. The clock management by Jonathan Smith. Get your head out of your fucking ass. Well, we felt good, real good getting a field goal there at the end. Put it in the fucking end zone, John. Put it in. What are we dicking around for? Can't point them out in the map. Fucking nuke them, dude. And then now we go to USC, who I think they're ass, but it's 11 o'clock local East Lansing time. And we're probably going to get our shit kicked in. However, if you are a program with any level of self-respect, keep it within a touchdown. That's it. I don't even care if you win. Can I be excited going into the fourth quarter? That's it. That's how low the bar is. That I'm asking you to not make me want to gouge out my eyeballs. My God. Like, I don't know. I haven't seen the uniforms yet. Hopefully the uniforms are good, because I'm sure our performance is going to be ass. It's going to suck. We're going to go out there and here's what's going to happen. We're going to get the ball first. We're going to get the ball first. We're going to get a nice first down on a play we've been practicing since 2022. Then it's going to stall out. We're going to stop them on their first drive, and then we won't stop them the rest of the game. They'll make an adjustment, and we won't be able to readjust to them. We'll sneak across the 50 and kick a few field goals maybe. And maybe Aiden Childs will scamper and try to hurdle somebody and fucking get a helmet to the dick like he did last game. That's what's going to happen. It's going to be fucking embarrassing. But you know what? I said it's not emotional. It's fucking emotional. How about you know what? Fuck that. Win the fucking game. You want to be a top whatever program, you go to a bad USC team as an underdog and you win this fucking game. Nick Marsh, whether he's playing or not, I don't fucking care. Win the game. I'm setting myself up to be hurt again. And for those who I'm close with that you talk to me daily, I'm sorry, because I'm going to be just an awful time Saturday night. Well, that's the slate. We've got Utah, Texas Tech, over 56.5. The Ducks laying 34.5 for the Platypus. War Eagle getting 7 in Norman. Michigan, Nebraska, what could have been 1997 championship, over 47.5. Billy Napier coaching for his life, keeping him within 10. ASU and Baylor, can anybody stop anybody? Over 60.5. Huskies giving some Husky dick to the Cougars, laying 19.5. Wyoming getting 13.5 in Boulder. And then we end off the night with a fucking game that's probably going to go into Sunday Eastern time. It definitely will. My Spartans getting 18.5, like a fucking joke we are. So that's what we got. I'm excited. It's going to be a really good day of ball on Saturday. And that gets us prepped for next Saturday. And next Saturday is the day of all days. Top 25 matchups. Oh, it's like a charcuterie board. And there's so many. You just pick what you want. We got Ryder Cup going on. God, I'm so American that day. Fuck, I'm pumped up, dude. Nothing gets me more pumped up than like the Olympics or Ryder Cup. I think those are times where we can all set all of our individual differences aside and say, fuck, you're up. And I'm excited for that. And I think I might be going camping next week. I think that's the plan. So I'm excited to watch some ball out in the middle of fucking nowhere. But that's what we got for this week. I'm going to be keeping and trying to give these to you weekly. This isn't easy. You think this is easy? You do it. You can't. You won't. That's okay. That's why you got Papa. That's what I'm here for. But I appreciate you guys listening. As always, hit the bell so I got to text you fuckers. But look forward to speaking with you next week. See ya!